Thank you very much for being here. I'm proud to represent Staten Island and Brooklyn, where you're from, and Fort Hamilton High School says hello.
Thank you.
And I wanted to speak with you specifically about fentanyl and the involvement of the Communist Chinese Party. I know you recently returned from a trip from fentanyl. You specifically talked about the money laundering that is involved. We know that Communist China is subsidizing the production of these fentanyl analogs that are now illegal in the United States and in China, but yet they are exporting it, killing, as you know, 100,000 Americans annually. A lot of it is going through the drug cartels in Mexico, in particular when they're subsidizing the production of this fentanyl in China. NPP and ANPP are two fentanyl precursors that we know specifically the Mexican drug cartels are using. So according to the Congressional Research Service, U.S.-destined illicit fentanyl appears to be produced clandestinely in Mexico using these chemical precursors from China. Earlier this month, you reported on your trip that you were creating a joint Treasury People's Bank of China cooperation and exchange on money laundering. So just wanted to know where this group is at, what you think we'll be able to derive from this to help save these American lives that are being lost, sadly, because of this interaction between the CCP and the Mexican drug cartels.
So I think fentanyl is a critical issue, as you've indicated, and Treasury is doing everything that we can to stem the flow of precursors from China to Mexico and the illegal sale of fentanyl from Mexico into the United States. I've also visited Mexico to discuss the fentanyl issue and to enhance our cooperation with them. In the case of China, President Biden and President Xi, when they met, I guess it was in November, in Woodside, agreed to jointly tackle fentanyl, which was a very good development. Meetings have been taking place, as you noted, in my recent trip, I guess it was 2 weeks ago to China. We agreed to establish a special work, sort of dialogue or work plan around illicit finance. We've had one meeting so far that's been devoted to that topic, and fentanyl certainly is one of the key issues, although we're looking more broadly at illicit finance beyond fentanyl. But China's agreed to cooperate with us to try to stem the sale of these precursors into Mexico and other places, and this is an area of cooperation.
So it's your understanding that these money laundering organizations in the PRC are acting outside of the CCP's control?
I think so. I don't. It's not my understanding that the CCP is positively directing this activity, but that it is taking place among Chinese firms. And we need their cooperation to clamp down on those firms. We've sanctioned some, but there are many smaller firms in China that I believe are involved in producing these precursors and other equipment that's needed.
The U.S. Department of Treasury, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, has so far sanctioned more than 65 mainland China or Hong Kong-based persons for illicit fentanyl trafficking. And we also seen the DOJ take some action indicting 3 of the PRC-based companies. So I'm glad to see that we're having some action taken. Any of these firms, again, everything in China obviously has the government's involvement in it. So my concern is more that the manufacturers of this fentanyl are being subsidized by the government. They obviously control the banks in China. And then on top of it, these PRC-based companies. So I'm just wondering how much we can trust them as partners. I'm hoping that you're making some progress in that. But the reality is that, you know, we're seeing this increase, not decrease. More Americans are dying as a result of this fentanyl that is streaming from the PRC to the Mexican cartel. Part of it is because of our open southern border, thanks to the president's 60-plus policy changes when he came in. So I just hope that you will work diligently, and I trust that you are, to really try to hold China accountable for this type of activity that we're seeing that are killing so many Americans.
It's a real American tragedy, and we will do everything and are doing everything we can to stem the flow of these drugs into our country.
Thank you very much.